Got it. Hmm. Good evening. I am having trouble doing live streams on YouTube through by checking into my live stream control room. If you have any expertise to offer on the matter, please reach out to me in the chat window or the comment area. Having said that, this is going to be a little bit less than the level of graphics you're used to, but just like the the Rolling Stones boys said, you can't always get what you want. So, having said that, let's get right into it. Karma has made its way into our popular culture. And like all things, you can look at it from two different points of view. You can look at it from the point of view or the perspective of Yang. What is Yang's perspective? It's that of being rigid, fearful, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. A Yang perspective can take you many places. Sadly, peace is not one of them. I want to make sure that you can hear me okay. My voice isn't as strong as I'd like it to be tonight. The If we take a Yang perspective of karma, we're going to think in terms of fear. We're going to think that if I don't do things right, bad shit's going to happen. If I do things perfect, good shit's going to happen. And that's going to make us really controlling bastards. Great irony is that when the Buddha talked about karma, he only talked about it in terms of meditation, how our body affects our experience of pleasure and pain, and how that influences our experience of intensity, and how that experience influences our experience of the impulses to push or pull, and how that affects our awareness of all the above. So the Buddha, when he talked about actions and effects, he wasn't talking about, hey, be good or else something bad's going to happen. He's all, hey, when things happen in your meditation, let's not get superstitious. There's nothing mysterious here. It's very, very understandable. If you don't get enough sleep, your brain is not going to work right. If you eat food that's bad for you, your brain is not going to work right. So the Buddha was very trenchant and very practical, and he wasn't into fear. Remember, the Buddha was raised in the warrior caste. And so he was well aware of what fear did to people and what greed did to people, and he didn't want any more of that. So instead of taking things, instead of exploring karma from Yang's perspective, let's explore it from Yin's perspective. Yin's perspective is fundamentally to be flexible, loving, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. As we mentioned before, fear is poison, but the opposite of fear is love. And the highest love is spontaneous and uncontrived. The more effectively we practice mindfulness and meditation, the more we will find ourselves in a state of love's centered spontaneity, where we just, as a default mode, live in the flow state. Um, and so, ideally, our choices and our utterances and our deeds will be like leaves floating on a stream, the stream of love's centered spontaneity. This is the way we want to live, non-neurotically, non-fearfully, non greedily, without agenda, without controlling tendencies, without being manipulative, just flowing from love's centered spontaneity. This is one of the greatest byproducts or fringe benefits of a healthy meditation practice. I think it could be lovely if together as a team we chanted the Thursday night excerpt of the Song of Enlightenment. It was written by Yong Jie Jue. It was translated into English by Red Pine. And I've adapted it and amplified it as I saw fit. Now, please bear in mind that if any time at all during the duration of this evening's live stream, if at any point you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting or Buddhist meditation or Buddhist philosophy or their application, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. If you're watching on your laptop or your desktop, that could be on the right-hand side of the screen. And if you're on your smartphone and you're using it vertically, it could be right down here. Now, this looks a little ugly. Can I adjust this? Let's find out. Whoops, I guess not. Let's see. Is there a way to adjust? Nope, I don't want PowerPoint. Let's close that bad boy. Oh well, prettiness is not in the cards tonight, kids. Let's chant. The great Bodhisattva holding the sword of wisdom with its partial blade and partial flames. Not only did he cut through the mind of heretics, he first entered Mata's brazen ways. In the Tibetan tradition, one does not even think of teaching others until one has first mastered the intellectual comprehension of the teachings, as well as mastered their application to one's choices, utterances, and deeds. Similarly, the Buddha did not teach others the Four Noble Truths of the Eightfold Path until first he had so mastered them that he practiced them spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. Together. He shook his Dharma thunder, he beat his Dharma drum. He spread clouds of compassion and showers of sweet dew. The trampling of elephants covered the world with moisture. Whatever the path or lineage, everyone woke up. The Buddha taught not from theory or hearsay, but from personal experience. All who applied his instructions generated fabulous results. Those traversing the impotent path of patriarchy blame the so-called darkness of this age for the ineffectiveness of their teachings, never thinking to question their comprehension or their methods' validity. Together. Himalayan butter with nothing added. It alone produces my favorite ghee. The nature that pervades all natures. The dharma that includes all dharmas. Soil stewardship and pesticide free. Nothing, oopsie. I think an H would be useful. Nothing beats the flavor of organic food. The two truths are ubiquitous. All that can be perceived can be released. This is the essence of mindfulness and meditation. Together. A single moon shines in every drop of water. Every drop of water is held in a single moon. So I'm going to do a quick edit here. So, and let's continue. Every Buddhist dharma body is my nature. My nature is one with every Tathagata. I'll hate pain. I'll love bliss. We are all alike in so many ways. Every healthy brain has the same nature to notice, let go, and love. I look forward to meditating with you after less than 1 minute of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. I've spent more than half of my life studying and practicing and reverse engineering each practice of each sect of Buddhism so that I could play the I could play the Plo Koon to your Ahsoka Tano, so that you could quickly and easily become the person that your dog already thinks you are. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of patrons just like you. So if everything's working correctly on YouTube, and I'm not sure if it is right now, there'll be a Patreon link in the description area below the video. Anywho, let's hit it. Let us before him a chant of empathetic bodhicitta and enthusiastic refuge. We're going to start with the triplet chant. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. And now we're going to practice the more concise bookend version. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. So let's take a moment to review the basic meditation instructions. Mindfulness and meditation are known by many names, such as Zen, Proto-Zen, Chon, Dhyana, Mahamudra, Mahasandhi, Hatha Yoga, Dzogchen, and Trikcho. Despite the fanciness of these names, the method is simple. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we are accessing our sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is not wired for active concentration. What is it wired for? It is wired to perceive vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. What is it we could perceive? We could perceive sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, we could perceive emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, imaginings, and confabulations. The most efficient way to practice mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. We could notice sights. We could notice the external, the internal, the physical, the mental, the pleasurable, the painful. We could notice the interesting, the boring, the glorious, or the grotesque. Now the question is, what are we to do with all this stuff that we notice? And the answer is meditate. You see, every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we access our parasympathetic nervous system, which has evolved for both physical relaxation, physical relaxation, as well as mental release. The most efficient way to practice meditation is to silently and mentally recite the one syllable verb ease during each exhalation. Ease is a synonym for relax. Now, together as a team, let us meditate as profoundly as Ahsoka Tano on Lothal. We're going to begin with the 12 syllable exercise. As we inhale, we're going to silently and mentally recite, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. So we do not fear the monkey mind. We notice it. That's our job. Consider this. When a grandfather takes his grandchildren to the park, he's not distressed when they run around and play in the swings and climb in the jungle gym. That's what they're there for. They're there to romp and play. He sits on his tuchus, he's on the park bench and watches them in amusement, as do we. So as we breathe in, we silently and mentally recite, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. And as we exhale, we can silently and mentally recite, relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. You see, we don't have to believe that mind has a non-graspable nature. We don't need to figure out whether mind has a non-graspable nature, because the non-graspable nature is just a metaphor for the sensations we normally experience and when we coordinate our relaxation with our exhalation. Let's practice. Now we're switching to the three syllable exercise. As we breathe in, notice this. As we exhale, relaxing. Mindfulness, meditation. Welcome to this evening's group practice. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. I check for questions about once every 8 to 9 minutes. Now let us switch to the one syllable exercise. As we breathe in, let us silently and mentally recite this. And as we exhale, let us silently and mentally recite ease. Let us seal this evening's meditation with a bit of the old chanting, beginning with kind ethics and then concluding with the four immeasurables. Let's try this again. May all beings practice of kind communication, conduct, and calmness flow spontaneous and uncontrived. May everyone be free from misery. May everyone be happy. May no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. In approximately 11 hours, approximately 11 and a quarter hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's morning meditation class and group practice. If you feel that I've earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up or even help support this channel on Patreon. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.